Hi and welcome to the 5-Minute Business Boost, where you get to choose your 5-minute investment. I'm your host, Sam Hicks, and I'll be discussing topics under the headings of business development, marketing, photography, and much more. Welcome to this week's episode of 5-Minute Business Boost. Today, this episode's for artists. So this is around artful engagement, social media and brand building for creatives. So there's a bit of a myth floating around that the creative world, that good art sells itself. And I would disagree. I think good art still needs visibility. Good artists still need connection. And let's face it, in 2026, attention is one of the hardest things to earn online because it's such a busy space. Across 2025, I had the opportunity and I was blessed to deliver a hands-on workshop series with Yay Arts throughout our region, and it focused on social media and brand building for creatives. So the actual course explored practical ways that artists could grow an audience, tell better stories, and build confidence online without feeling like they were becoming full-time influencers. Because let's be honest, most artists didn't get into painting, ceramics, photography, textiles, sculpture or illustration because they dreamt of spending 3 hours trying to choose a real audio track. But whether we like it or not, social media has really become part of a gallery. It's a wall, it's a part business card, it's part networking event, and it's a part shopfront. And the good news is you don't need to dance with your art on TikTok, although I'm just thinking about that now. That could be kind of fun. And you don't need 100,000 followers, and you definitely don't need to post every single day. So you just need to focus on your clarity, your consistency, and have a little bit of a strategy. So here's 5 practical ideas that we explored during the workshops that creatives can start using immediately. Your art isn't the only story. This is number 1. Many artists only post finished pieces, and whilst that is beautiful, the problem is audiences really love to see or understand the process just as much. So I'm not talking about giving away your IP, people, but think about it. People connect with messy workbenches, paint-covered hands, failed attempts, drying racks, sketchbooks, framing decisions, kiln openings, work in progress moments. People love that whole behind the scenes. And the reality is buyers aren't just purchasing the final piece anymore. They're actually buying that connection, the meaning and the story. And, they are attracted to you and your story, not just the art. So one of the biggest shifts that artists can make is moving from the here is my artwork, ta-da, to here is how and why this artwork came to life. And that tiny shift changes engagement dramatically. And no, it doesn't need to be polished. Sometimes the most engaging content is filmed quickly on a phone while standing in the studio muttering, well, wasn't the original plan. I'll say that again. Well, this wasn't the original plan. Muffed up that first bit. So being relatable 9 times out of 10 is going to win. Number 2, consistency beats perfection. One of the biggest traps creatives fall into is waiting until everything is ready. Perfect lighting, perfect branding, perfect logo, perfect bio, perfect confidence. And yes, it does play a large part of it. But meanwhile, the artist quietly posing once or twice a week keeps building momentum. Consistency matters more than perfection because audiences need that repetition before recognition happens. And you can't build, and you don't build, a creative brand from one brilliant post. You build it from showing up regularly, being recognisable, sharing your style, sharing your voice and staying visible over time. And most importantly, sharing your story. This is especially important for regional artists and emerging creatives. Many opportunities happen because someone remembers seeing your work repeatedly over several months or over several years. Social media is often less about instant sales and more about long-term familiarity. Number 3, build a brand, not a feed. So a lot of artists accidentally treat social media like a random dumping ground. Painting today, a meme tomorrow, a blurry lunch photo, then silence for 3 weeks. So it really is around you and your brand and just feeling people associate with your work over time. So this doesn't mean everything has to match perfectly like a corporate brochure. In fact, overly polished creative accounts sometimes can lose personality. Otherwise you just look like everybody else, cookie cutter stamp. But it does help to think about your tone of voice, your colours, your themes, your photography style, your audience, and what you want people to remember about you. If somebody lands on your Instagram for 5 seconds, what impression do they leave with? Are you a creative? Are you bold? Are you calm? Are you funny? Are you thoughtful, experimental, regional, sustainable, metro? Where are you? Who are you? And what are you? Strong creative brands aren't always the loudest. They're usually the clearest. Number 4, stop trying to be on every platform. This one usually gets a few nervous laughs in the workshops because, we all tried to be everywhere. And it is a pressure that artists feel, Let's be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn Threads, YouTube, Etsy, websites, and create newsletters. Oof. And suddenly that whole creative process can disappear under the admin side. And not every platform suits every artist. A visual artist may thrive on Instagram and Pinterest. A ceramicist might do brilliantly with short form video. And a photographer might benefit from YouTube or blogging. However, a professional artist working with councils or galleries may actually gain some traction on LinkedIn. And the goal isn't to do everything. The goal is to do a few things well. And one of the strongest strategies that creatives can have is one main platform, one backup platform, and one own platform. And this is really around a website or an email list. Because if you lose the main platform and the back platform because you don't own them, you've still got your website and your email list. And really, having only a couple is sustainable because burnout is real in creative industries. And trying to feed 8 social media platforms at once is a fast track ticket to I'm deleting everything and moving to the bush with the alpacas. Okay? God, that sounds like an idea. Anyway, number 5, AI can help, but your voice still matters. AI became such a major talking point throughout the 2025 workshops, okay? And creatives do wrangle with them. Some artists are excited, some are cautious, some are deeply frustrated, somewhere are in the middle, some are like absolutely bloody not because of the initial stealing that AI was technically doing of creative artworks. But the reality is AI can absolutely assist creatives with brainstorming captions, generating content ideas, improving structure, writing event blurbs, creating hashtag suggestions, repurposing blogs into posts, or planning content calendars. They can do so much. But here's the important bit. It can assist your communication, but it shouldn't replace your humanity. Audiences still crave authentic stories, real experiences, and personal connection. The artists who stand out moving forward won't simply be the people using the best tools. They'll be the people who remain recognisable and human while using them. Interestingly, Australian research into AI adoption highlights that many organisations are still trying to separate the hype from reality while balancing innovation with authenticity and trust. And that's a pretty good reminder for all of us, especially our creatives. Use the tools, but don't lose yourself in the process. Final thoughts. Social media for creatives doesn't have to feel fake, exhausting, or performative. And at its best, it becomes an extension of your creative practice. And this is around storytelling, documenting, connecting, and inviting people into your world. And more importantly, it helps your work get seen. Because hidden talent, unfortunately, still stays hidden. And the artists building sustainable careers today are often the ones willing to share not only what they create, but who the person is and the process behind it. So this is where the real engagement begins.
So that's it for today. If you want to bring this workshop to your community, if your arts group, gallery, council, creative network or community organisation would like myself, Sam Hicks, to deliver an artful engagement, social media and branding building for creative style workshop in your region or online, feel free to get in touch. My workshops are practical, hands-on, beginner-friendly and designed specifically for artists in this theme. And I have found makers and creatives who are wanting to build confidence and promoting their work without losing their artistic identity really enjoyed them. Till next time, cheerio.
Thanks for listening to the 5-Minute Business Boost. For more information, follow me on socials, sign up for my newsie, or check out my website to see how we can work together to reach your small business goals. Remember, anything is possible, especially in the northeast of Victoria. Until next time, cheerio!